Did you know that 90% of cat owners pet their cats the wrong way without even realizing it? What feels like love to you could actually make your cat lose trust over time. And that sudden bite or scratch? It may not be aggression. It's often a warning you've been ignoring. Watch until the end and tell me, which of these trust-breaking mistakes have you been making every day? Number 1. The green light that lies. You move your hand toward the base of your cat's tail, and their back end lifts right up to meet it. Looks like a green light, right? Like they're begging for more. So you keep going. For a few seconds, pure bliss. Then the tail starts whipping, the skin ripples, and suddenly there are teeth around your wrist. Here's the part almost every owner misses. That lifted back end was never a request. It's a leftover reflex from kittenhood when their mother's grooming triggered it automatically, wired in long before you showed up. And the skin above the tail is one of the most nerve-packed zones on their entire body. A few seconds in, the good feeling floods straight past pleasure into overload, and their brain can no longer tell soothing from danger. That bite isn't anger. It's a circuit tripping. So leave that zone alone unless they offer it. And the instant that tail flicks, your hand comes off. But the tail isn't the only place your hands give you away. Sometimes the problem isn't where you touch, it's how. Why your hands sound wrong. Think about how you greet a dog. A couple of quick pats on the head or side. Friendly, playful, so you do the same to your cat, and they just sit there and take it. But taking it isn't the same as wanting it. Dogs evolved with rough physical play built into how they bond, so a pat reads as social and fun. Cats are the exact opposite. Real affection between cats is slow and sustained. They press, they lean, they rub. Their whole touch language runs on steady pressure, never impact. So every little pat, no matter how gentle, lands as a tiny startle. Your cat doesn't flinch because they know you're safe. But underneath, the body braces every single time your hand comes down. A University of Lincoln study back in 2017 tested cats across 8 different body areas and found it every time. Slow contact around the cheeks and chin won, patting near the tail lost. So swap the pat for a press. Rest your fingers against their cheek and let them push into your hand. You'll feel them stop bracing almost instantly. So where you touch matters. How you touch matters. But there's one moment when any touch at all is the mistake. And it's the moment you'll be most tempted. The moment you're stealing. Your cat is curled up, eyes shut, soft and still. You walk past and brush a hand over them, because how could you not? Here's what that quietly costs. Sleep is the most defenseless state a cat ever enters. In the wild, a sleeping cat is an easy meal, and every instinct in their body knows it. So when your cat shuts their eyes in your home, they're not just napping. They're deciding this place is safe enough to fully power down. That decision is the deepest trust they have to give. Touch them mid-sleep, and their system slams from off straight into emergency. Heart pounding, muscles locked, pupils blown wide. Even when they realize it's only you and settle back down, the brain has already logged it. I was unconscious, and something touched me. Do it enough times, and they stop dropping into deep sleep around you at all. So if they're asleep, just watch. Let them surface on their own. Let them come to you. And when they are awake, and they do come to you, that's when owners make the mistake that feels the most loving of all. When love feels like a cage. You're petting your cat and it's going great, so you bring in the second hand, one on the cheek, one down the back, to give them the full experience. And within seconds, they freeze, ears swivel, and they're gone. Here's why doubling the love backfires. For most cats, especially ones still building trust, being touched from both sides doesn't feel like more affection. It feels like the exit just closed. Your hands could be feather gentle. What their body registers is, I can't leave. And a cat needs to be able to walk away at any second. Even when 2 cats groom each other, the one on the receiving end can always stand up and go. Take that escape route away, and affection quietly turns into restraint. 2021 study from Nottingham Trent University found cats given real choice and control during handling were calmer and more affectionate. not less. Now, a deeply bonded cat who goes limp in your lap may honestly not care. But that's the exception, earned over years. For every other cat, one hand. Leave the other side of their body free. Which brings us back to that 3-second test I promised, the one ritual that decides everything before your hand even lands. The 3-second test. Watch two cats who trust each other meet. They don't barge in and start grooming. They approach, stop a little short, and stretch one nose forward. The other meets it halfway. Noses touch, scent gets traded. And only then does contact happen. Every single time. It's not manners. It's how they confirm an interaction is safe before it begins. Now think about what you do. You reach down, and your hand is on them before they've had any say. To you, that's hello. To them, it's a stranger grabbing your face uninvited. So here's the test. Instead of reaching to pet, hold one finger a few inches from their face and keep it still. Don't wiggle it. Don't move it. Just wait. If they lean in and bump it with their nose or push their cheek into your hand, that's a yes. Now you pet. If they sniff and pull back or look away, that's a no, just for now. And respecting that no is the single fastest way to make your cat trust your hands more tomorrow than they do today. But petting is just one way you break that trust. There are others happening every day that have nothing to do with your hands. The way you feed them, what you leave around your home, even how you look at them. Let's get into them, starting with the most innocent one of all, the bowl that hurts them. Ever notice your cat pulling food out of the bowl to eat it off the floor, or walking away from a full dish like it personally offended them? You probably file it under fussy. It isn't. They're telling you the bowl hurts. A cat's whiskers aren't decoration. They're precision sensory organs loaded with nerve endings that map the world around their face. Push that face into a deep, narrow bowl, and those whiskers bend and scrape against the sides with every single bite. Picture eating dinner while someone flicks your fingertips the whole time. So your cat does the logical thing, drags the food somewhere their face is free, or just quits. It even has a name, whisker fatigue. The fix costs almost nothing. Trade the deep bowl for a flat, wide plate or a shallow saucer so nothing touches those whiskers while they eat. Watch how fast the floor pawing stops. And it's not just the food dish causing quiet trouble. Look a few inches over, at where you put their water. Why they won't drink. Most owners set the water bowl right next to the food, neat little pair on the same mat. Makes total sense to us. To your cat, it's a problem they can't ignore. In the wild, a cat would never drink right beside a kill. Fresh prey leaks bacteria into nearby water, and drinking it could make them sick. That instinct didn't switch off when they moved onto your kitchen floor. So with the water sitting inches from the food, some part of your cat reads it as contaminated and quietly drinks less than it should. And cats are already terrible drinkers. They evolved in deserts, pulling most of their moisture from prey. That low-level dehydration is a fast track to kidney and urinary disease, the exact problems that cut so many cats' lives short. So move the water far from the food. Different spot, ideally a different room. Add a second source somewhere else. Many cats drink more from a running fountain too. So that's their food and water sorted. But there's another spot in your home you've probably set up all wrong. And to a clean, sensitive animal, it's quiet torture. The box you got wrong. The litter box feels simple. It is not. Owners get it wrong in ways that quietly torment a clean, sensitive animal. First, the cover. A hooded box traps odor inside a tiny chamber, and your cat's sense of smell is roughly 14 times sharper than yours, so stepping in feels like walking into a sealed outhouse. Second, scented litter. Those floral granules marketed to you are an assault to a nose that powerful. Third, the location, jammed in a loud laundry room or a tight corner where they can get trapped with no exit. And if you've got more than one cat sharing a single box, you've turned the most private moment of their day into a turf war. The rule is simple. One box per cat plus one extra. Uncovered, unscented, quiet spot, clear escape route, scooped daily. Get this right and half those mystery accidents outside the box just disappear. A cat going outside the box is trying to tell you something, and how you react in that moment decides whether they ever trust you again. Why discipline backfires? Your cat scratches the couch, jumps the counter, swats a glass off the table. So you yell, clap, maybe grab the spray bottle. It feels like teaching. To your cat, it's something completely different. Cats don't link your punishment to their action the way a dog might. They link it to you. They don't learn scratching is bad. They learn my human randomly turns scary for reasons I can't predict. So you don't get a better behaved cat. You get one who does the same things the second you leave the room and grows quietly more anxious around you when you're in it. That spray bottle isn't discipline. It's slow erosion of the trust you spent months earning. The real answer is redirection. Don't punish the behavior. Replace it. Couch scratching? Put a post right beside it. Counter surfing? Make the counter boring and somewhere else exciting. You're not the threat. You're the one who hands them a better option. Bad habits you can fix over time. But some mistakes don't give you time because the danger is already in your home and your cat is breathing it in right now. The scent that poisons quietly. You run an essential oil diffuser to make the house smell calm and clean. Plug in air fresheners, scented candles, a quick spray to freshen a room. For you, harmless. For your cat, potentially poison. Cats are missing a key liver enzyme that most animals use to break down certain compounds, including a lot of the oils in diffusers and concentrated air products. Tea tree, eucalyptus, citrus, pine, these can build up in a cat's system, and depending on the dose that can mean drooling, tremors, liver damage, or worse. And here's the cruel part. Your cat can't walk away from it. They live in that air 24 hours a day, grooming those particles off their fur and swallowing them. So if you share your home with a cat, the safest move is to drop the diffusers and oil-based plugins entirely. Want the place to smell good? Open a window, take out the trash, keep the litter clean. Fresh air never hurt anyone. Clear the air and you've handled what they breathe. But there's one object in your home that makes your cat vanish the second it appears. And you've trained them to fear it without ever realizing. Why they vanish at the door? Here's a pattern you've probably lived. The cat carrier comes out of the closet, and your cat evaporates. Gone, under the bed, impossible to reach, like they read your mind. They kind of did. Picture it from their side. That box only ever shows up right before the worst day of their life. Stuffed inside, driven somewhere loud and strange, handled by strangers at the vet. So their brain wired it shut. Carrier means doom. You taught them that without meaning to. But the same logic runs in reverse. Stop hiding the carrier. Leave it out in the open all the time, door off with a soft blanket and a few treats tucked inside. Let it become just another cozy napping spot. Feed them near it. Make it boring and safe for weeks when nothing's wrong. Do that, and on the next vet day, the carrier isn't a trap anymore. It's just their bed that happens to move. Make the scary things safe, and you've handled their fear. But there's one need left, and ignoring it turns a calm cat into a destructive one. The boredom you can't see. Your cat sleeps most of the day, so it's easy to assume they're perfectly content. But underneath that lazy exterior is a hunter with nothing to hunt. Every cat carries a hardwired sequence. Stalk, chase, pounce, catch, kill. In the wild, they'd run it a dozen times a day. In your living room, that drive has nowhere to go. And a hunting instinct with no outlet doesn't disappear. It leaks out sideways. Ankle ambushes, 3 a.m. zoomies, chewing things, picking fights, sudden aggression. Here's the mistake even loving owners make. They grab a laser pointer, the cat chases a dot it can never catch, and now it's more frustrated than before. All stock, no payoff. The fix is to complete the sequence. Use a wand toy they can actually pounce on and catch, end the session with a real win, then hand over a few treats. The kill and the meal. 10 honest minutes a day, and half their behavior problems quietly solve themselves. Burn off that energy, and you've fixed the boredom. But the next mistake is hiding inside the most ordinary thing you do for your cat every single day, filling their bowl. The buffet that's hurting them. You keep the bowl topped up all day so your cat is never hungry. Feels like good parenting. It's quietly doing the opposite. Cats aren't grazers by design. They're hunters built around a catch-and-feast rhythm. Hunt, eat, sleep, repeat. Leave food sitting out around the clock and you override that entire system. The cat nibbles out of boredom instead of hunger, the weight creeps on, and a heavy cat is staring down diabetes, joint pain, and a shorter life. But there's a sneakier cost. When food is always there, you lose your single best early warning signal. A cat going off their food is often the first sign something's wrong. But if the bowl is never empty, you'll never catch the day they stopped eating. So switch to measured meals at set times. You control the portions, you spot appetite changes instantly, and you hand their body back the rhythm it was built for. And it's not just how much you feed, it's what you hand them as a treat. Starting with the one almost every owner is sure is kindness. The kindness that backfires. Picture the classic image, a happy cat lapping up a saucer of milk. It's on cartoons, greeting cards, everywhere. So you pour your cat a little, they drink it eagerly, and you feel like the best owner alive. Here's the catch. Most adult cats can't digest it. Kittens make an enzyme called lactase to break down their mother's milk, but as they grow up, that supply mostly shuts off. So the cow's milk your cat happily drank lands in a gut with no way to process it. Cue cramping, bloating, and diarrhea a few hours later, while you're left wondering what upset their stomach. The fact that they love it means nothing. Cats chase plenty of things that hurt them. If you want to give a milky treat, there's lactose-free cat milk made for exactly this. But honestly, the kindest treat is usually fresh water and a little plain cooked meat. Skip the saucer. Get their food right and their bodies taken care of. But the next mistake plays out the day you decide your cat needs a friend, and it can poison the bond before it ever begins. The meeting you rushed. You decide your cat needs a friend, so you bring a new one home, set the carrier down, open the door, and let them meet. Seems friendly enough. To both cats, it's an invasion. To your resident cat, a strange animal just materialized inside their entire territory with zero warning. And to the newcomer, they've been dropped into a world that already belongs to someone else. Forced together like that, they don't bond. They go to war, and that first terrible impression can poison the relationship for years. The fix is patience, not force. Keep the new cat in a separate room at first. Let them learn each other through the door. Scent before sight, swapping blankets, feeding on either side of it. Then short supervised meetings, built up slowly over days or weeks. You're not introducing two cats. You're convincing each one the other isn't a threat. Rush it, and you'll spend a decade refereeing. Take it slow, and you might hand your cat a lifelong companion. Get all of this right, and your cat will start showing you exactly how they feel. The quiet tragedy is, most owners look straight past it. The love you keep missing. Here's the heartbreak hidden in cat ownership. Your cat is telling you they love you constantly, and you've probably missed most of it, because you're waiting for it to look like a dog's. It won't. A cat that trots over with their tail straight up, the tip curled like a little question mark, that's the warmest greeting they have, the equivalent of a running hug. The headbutt into your leg or chin isn't random. They're marking you with their scent, claiming you as theirs, as family. A cat that flops down and turns their back to you isn't ignoring you. They're offering their most defenseless angle and saying, I trust you completely. Even the dead bug dropped at your feet is a gift, an act of providing for you. So stop waiting for the tail-wagging version of love. Your cat has been saying it this whole time, in tail flicks, head bumps, and slow blinks. Once you learn the language, you'll realize you were never unloved. You were just listening for the wrong words. Be honest with me. Out of everything in this video, there's one you just realized you've been doing. And you know exactly which one. Don't scroll away carrying that guilt. Drop it in the comments. Just name the mistake. Because the owners who actually change are the ones who admit it first. And your cat will feel the difference within a week. I read every comment. Go.